Are you tired of waiting endlessly for your green card? Are you wondering which path, the EB1A or the EB2 NIW, is the one that actually gives you that real shot at approval? Well, USCIS has just released fresh data for Q1 of fiscal year 2025, and let me tell you, the numbers might actually just surprise you. Hey, I'm Simon Shetty, your host and the founder of Smart Green Card, and in today's video, we are going to explore what the latest USCIS approval numbers mean for your green card journey. Whether you're a researcher or entrepreneur or even a skilled professional, the data we'll share today will help you decide the smartest and fastest route to US permanent residency. But before we get into the numbers, here's something you don't want to miss. Join us on Saturday, May 31st for an exclusive EB1A Green Card workshop happening online via Google Meet from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific time. We'll be joined by a top US immigration attorney and a law firm, Manifest Law, who will break down real EB1A strategies and answer your burning questions. And if you've been stuck in decision paralysis or aren't sure which visa path fits your background the best, this is your chance to get real clarity. Spots are limited, so grab yours now, and the link is in the description below. Now back to the topic. The United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, or USCIS, has released the Q1 fiscal year 2025 adjudication statistics, which actually cover from October 1st, 2024 to December 1st, 2024, which is basically the Q1 because the fiscal year of USCIS starts from October 1st of the previous year. We are talking about real official numbers here, actual approvals and denials across the green card categories. And while these statistics actually reflect the policies under the Biden administration, they are kind of still relevant and important to consider because we look at how things might change under Trump, and a decent bit of the policies are kind of carrying over from Biden to Trump, especially in the EB1A zone. So if you are applying under EB1A or the Aliens of Extraordinary Ability category, or even the EB2 NIW or the National Interest Waiver category, this data is going to matter a lot. So let's break it down. Firstly, let's talk about the EB2 NIW. One of the most popular green card options for skilled professionals who want to avoid the usual labor certification process is the EB2 NIW. So over the past few years, approval rates for the EB2 NIW have been steadily dropping. In the quarter prior to fiscal year 2025 quarter 1, the approval rate hit a low of 61%, and there's been a slight improvement so far, rising to 63% in Q1 of fiscal year 2025. But that's still far below the historical average of 81%. That's where it was at before. And this trend shows that USCIS is kind of becoming stricter, particularly when it comes to demonstrating the national importance and impact of an applicant's work. Now let's take a look at EB1A, which tells a slightly different story. This category has been more stable overall. The approval rates were around 74% at the end of fiscal year 2024, and in Q1 of fiscal year 2025, it increased slightly to 75%. So while EB2 NIW has been declining, EB1A has remained steady and even showed some improvement. This might actually surprise you because EB1A is generally seen as the tougher category. So what's really going on here? Let's dig into that. Why are EB1A approval rates actually higher than the EB2 NIW, while the EB1A is often perceived as the most difficult and the most prestigious category to go after and qualify for? Given the high bar of extraordinary ability, there's a reason that it is showing a higher approval rate than the EB2 NIW though. And that reason is self-selection. Most people don't apply for EB1A unless their case is rock solid. In fact, a lot of attorneys also don't take up a case to file for the EB1A unless it is rock solid. The criteria are also very specific. You need to meet at least 3 out of 10. The vagueness is relatively less over there, and the 10 regulatory criteria out of which 3 you have to meet, or instead of it win a major international award like the Nobel Prize, which to be honest is rare. So what happens is the pool of EB1A applications tends to be smaller but stronger and more credible, and the applicants are more prepared for their profiles as well and keep it very documented. And on the other hand, the EB2 NIW has become increasingly popular, especially after the perm backlog increased and the corresponding wait time. So this has led to a flood of applications, out of which many are rushed, many are underdocumented, or don't really fully meet the national interest threshold. And that's why the EB2 NIW approval rate is dropping. Even though it is still a very viable category when handled the right way, it is to note that the approval rates generally in EB2 NIW are not as high as the EB1A, which is kind of ironic. And here's the takeaway. EB1A might be harder to qualify for, but the fact that it is hard to qualify for might actually be to your benefit, because if you do qualify, your chances of approval are actually higher than EB2 NIW, at least from the data that we see right now. Are you still unsure of which green card category is the right one for you? The approval percentage we just discussed doesn't mean anything unless you know where your profile stands. And that's exactly why our team reviews your profile for free and lets you know how well you possibly fit into the EB1A category, how well you can potentially build your profile professionally, along with the potential next steps that you can pursue as well. Just head over to smartgreencard.com and hit that free profile evaluator button, fill out your details and get a free profile evaluation. And that's it for today. I hope this breakdown of the USCIS Q1 fiscal year 2025 data helped you understand what the numbers mean and how they apply to your specific case. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe and share with someone who's stuck in immigration limbo. And until next time, this is Simon Shetty and this is Smart Green Card. Let's make your green card journey a success.